Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly forecast on gold. So we're going to go over gold more in depth in this video. The simple forecast for this week is we are looking for a downwards move back to the gap at least, or down to this consolidation area because there's a lot of liquidity here. So on the higher time frame, which is the daily and above, you're looking for that bearish move down, which will be quite a distance now, over $100 move to the downside. So that is what I'm looking for on a higher time frame. This upwards move is an impulsive move. It's leaving behind a lot of liquidity and we're due some sort of retracement. So that's the forecast. Going over last week, starting here on Monday, we got this downwards move here and we was targeting the gap for the weekly opening. And then we was going to start to see either if that's being used as bullish support, which it did, obviously see that's a continuation up, or are we just using that as a intraday target to go lower? You can see price came down to that gap and then started to continue up. We didn't get into that. Next day, this was manipulation taking place, so along that area you'd put a nice grey area, because in the New York session you can see it took liquidity from one side, took liquidity from the other, then continued to the upside. So what that's showing you is they're clearing liquidity on either side. They're creating, we call it creating manipulation in that area, but really they are placing their orders in that area. So that's why this area becomes a consolidated kind of a high volume area where all the orders are placed. So when price comes back to that, you can expect support in one direction. So that's why going into next area, next day, we had clear liquidity to target here from the Asian session. We had a retracement back down to this manipulation area. So this was a clear buy and we had a clear target there. So that was a nice clear move on Wednesday. And if you go down to the smaller time frame, let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. You can see that also creates new manipulation on the smaller time frame, and I think this was with some news here. So what you got here is your consolidation, your fake out, and then your impulse move up. So this becomes a grey area. So let's just put that on the chart and go back to the 30-minute, and you can see what happens in that. So there's your manipulation area. So what you're looking for is the main concentrated areas between the top and the bottom of the wicks in the consolidation. That's where the main volume will be. The downwards move is just a fake out to clear liquidity before a impulse move up. So going into the next day, there wasn't really much to be said. This was just creating more liquidity on the higher time frame. The Asian session grab here was kind of the clearest move. But overall, we didn't trade this day. And I didn't trade either of these days, actually, because I was away for these days. So I came away from the chart and enjoyed my time. But you can see what happened. Cleared the Asian session high, then started that retracement. Retraced all the way to this manipulation area. And you start to get some bullish support from that level. So going into the NFP, you can expect the retracement, fill in this imbalance here, fair value gap, and then you got the impulse move up. So once you start to see that rejection, this is a very nice and easy bullish move, and it's the same thing as we had on this day here. You have clear buy side liquidity. Let's just say that's an equal high there. You can have clear buy side liquidity. You're retesting a manipulation area like you did here. This is this manipulation area, and then you're looking for a continuation up. So this is just a higher time frame setup, and this is a smaller time frame setup, but they're following the same principles, the same techniques and confirmations are there. They're just different time frames. Because if you go to, let's go to the hourly time frame, this is how it looks compared to this on the smaller time frame. Anyway, that is last week's recap. Nice upwards move. So going into this week, now we're expecting a retracement, because when you look at a higher time frame, you have this big consolidation here. This is your fake out one. Price goes up, creates more liquidity, and then it's building more support to the upside. This one breaks the high, retraces, and then continues up. So this is an impulse move. As you all know, new all-time high. It's traveled a big distance, and there's nowhere else to go. They're aiming for a key level of some sort, and none of us know that level. All we can do is examine the smaller time frame and wait for that reversal to start happening. As you can see here at the moment, we're leaving behind sell side liquidity and imbalances. Friday was the last push to the upside, and then what normally happens is, to validate a reversal, you're likely to see some manipulation being created, just like we saw on this chart this week on the smaller time frame. So if you're looking for a reversal, you can expect something like, let's say, this area. You can expect something like this. So let's say this is the all-time high at the moment. Then the manipulation you'd identify is some sort of consolidation to take place. A fake out to clear your one side liquidity, which would be the buy side. Then you're looking for the impulse move down. Then you expect a retracement if you didn't get in. And if you're lucky enough, you'll get in on the retracement, and that will be retesting the concentrated area of that manipulation. And that's also known as a breaker if you follow ICT. And all that is retesting the key areas of that manipulation move, just like it did here. This is your consolidation, this is your fake out, that's the impulse move up. Retraces and then continues from that area. So that's the sort of thing you can look for when you're looking for manipulation. Consolidation, fake out, takes the liquidity, impulse move down, retracement to your key area, and then a continuation down. That is a classic manipulation move. Many people see it differently, but that's what you're looking for. Or you got the other sort of move that you can expect. Let's just get another chart up. Let's go back to this one. So what you can expect as well, let's get rid of that. Now let's see, let's take a picture of this. So what you're seeing at the chart at the moment is the clear up and down trend like this. So what you'd be looking for then is a breaker structure kind of thing. So you'd be looking for the trend to break like that, and then a downwards move, and that will be following classic reversal structure, Elliott wave sort of thing you can follow, and that's what will give you that kind of entry. That's what you're looking for, and this is just doing exactly the same. You're retesting that consolidation area where the manipulation started, that pushed the price up. Then you're looking for the retest and continuation down. Another way you can get it is, if it starts doing this a lot of times, it can do that many times and then suddenly fall down. So what you'll be looking for is, you got this upwards move here, so it can continue up like that even more, and then you'll get the instant move down. So what you're looking for, you're focusing on these liquidity grabs up the top. That's what will give you your main entries. So you're focusing on the sales, and every time you're looking for a liquidity grab, you're looking for that reversal to start. That's another way you can look at trading this week if you're focusing on the sales and a higher time frame. Obviously, this is going to happen around the New York session. That's where all the main volume is. So if there's high impact news as well, that's what will add volume into the market, and that's what will give you that kind of move. But that's what we're waiting for. You've got many ways to enter. And if you look at it from a head and shoulders point of view, you could get something like this. A move down like that. And you see that as your concentration area. And then you got the downwards move, and this would be a shoulder, this would be a shoulder. So you have different ways to look at it. No, everybody is right. Well, nobody is right really. They just have different points of view on looking at the chart. So that's the technicals. That's how I'd be approaching it this week. Smaller time frame, you could easily do little scalp trades. If you're seeing a continuation up, it will give you support on a smaller time frame to get into that move. But if you're looking for a big swing trade, I'd be focusing on the downwards move. Apart from that, don't think there's anything else to go over. Like I said, mainly targeting these two areas here. So it'd be waiting for that reversal, waiting for that retest, and then you can get into the trade, sell to here and to here. Like I said, 2,329 level at the moment, so you're looking for at least a big $100 drop to the downside. So volume has picked up now. You're looking at those all-time highs. You're looking in the future to go to around 3,000 easily. Obviously, you know it's not going to do that all in one move. You're likely to get retracement first so they can get into more buy orders. So there's the in-depth analysis on gold. So yeah, one last thing. So as you saw last week, looking back at the recap from last week, even though my bias was to get into sales to follow the higher time frame, we still managed to reprice and get into the smaller time frame trades to get into the moves. So that's how we moved this one here, because we was expecting a retracement to here, and we was looking for bullish support from here because the smaller time frame confirmations showed us strong movements to the upside. And that's all we do. We don't stick to our bias in one direction if the confirmations are not showing. Everyone has a bias, everyone has a fault. You just got to wait for the confirmations on the chart to match your bias. If they don't match, then you have to change it. You're not always going to be right. So stick to what you see on the chart. Everyone can have an opinion, but that doesn't always have to play out as you say it to others. Message me if you've got any questions. Links all in the video description. Take care and goodbye.